Welcome back to Touch 'em All Sports Radio. Today is Monday, February 12th. Can you believe we're already halfway through February, Ethan?
It came up quick. It came up a whole lot faster than January went by.
Yeah. It's been some time since we've been in here, just the two of us. Correct.
Back to back
We had,
guests.
3 back-to-back guests. We had Tate Tipton, then we had Coach Zach Morrison, and then we had
Dr. Heath Hooper.
Dr. Heath Hooper.
A big thank you to all of them coming out, too.
Yeah.
You know, it was really big to have them out on the show. We haven't been here very long. It's pretty cool to have people come out that fast.
That was great. But Ethan, have you been watching the Olympics? The Olympics, if you don't keep up with stuff, the opening ceremony was Friday.
And the first games played were on Thursday, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But, you know.
You make do with what you got. But nonetheless, the Olympics have started. The 2018 Winter Olympics have started. Have you been watching them?
I've not watched a second of it. I watched a couple curling highlights because they show up on Twitter, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I haven't had the greatest access to a TV as of late.
Let's go ahead and get a medal tracker for the 2018 Winter Olympics. And as of 2:00 p.m. on Monday, February 12th, Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time, yeah. Would you like to guess who has the most amount of medals? Not necessarily gold medals, but who has the most medals in general?
I have to go with a country, Northern Europe. I'm gonna say Sweden.
Sweden? Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Close. It's Norway. Norway has 9 total medals. Would you like to guess who has the most gold medals?
Again, I'm going to pick a country that's most of the time in the snow, so I'm going to say Canada.
Germany has the most gold medals with 4. And as far as the United States goes, would you like to guess how many they have?
Let's say 1.
They have 4 total medals.
So they're tied for the most? Oh, 4 total medals. Okay.
4 total medals, yeah. 2 gold medals, 1 silver, and 1 bronze, obviously. The Winter Olympics is not something necessarily that you and I can relate to on a personal level. We don't know anyone that is a professional figure skater.
Yeah, and they aren't. I feel like the Winter Olympics are as popular as they could be because where we live in the South.
Well,
There's
yeah,
not a lot of snow here all the time. No one gets to go out and just play in the snow, go skiing. So most stuff we get to witness on TV. It's not something we have as much of a desire to watch as we would, say, football or basketball, baseball, something like that. We go out and play whenever.
Yeah. Well, and I think I think in the northern parts of the United States,
they are heavily watched because that's
what they do
all the time.
Yeah.
They get to watch that. They get to enjoy that.
Yeah. So that the Winter Olympics and all the buzz around it brings up the question: if you were an Olympic athlete, what sport would you be? What sport would you want to compete in the Winter Olympics?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and knock off any type of skiing because I try that. I'm just going to fall. I'm not going to make it very far. And that's about all I know of Winter Olympics other than curling. And curling, no disrespect to people who do it because they're obviously the best in the world at it. They're competing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I feel like it doesn't take as much of an athletic ability as a skill set learned and through the practice of playing it. So I feel like that's something I could be at. If you go out and practice all the time, I think someone could be good at that. You just got to get down the steps and you're good.
Yeah.
Supposedly. It doesn't take. You don't have to run. You don't have to do any sprints. It's just something you learn.
Yeah,
that's what I feel.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. I would assume you're right. I've never curled. Is that the correct tense of it?
I don't think we have a curling set here at Shorter.
Curl.
I'm not quite sure.
I've never curled. Never curled. My answer would be a hockey player. Not necessarily a position like a moving around fast hockey player. I think I'd be like a goalie. I'd want to be a goalie. Just simply, I like watching hockey. I'm a big Nashville Predators fan.
I used to go all the time to the Atlanta Thrashers games, and those were always fun when the fights break out.
Oh yeah. Hockey's a man sport, not a gentleman's sport, rather a man sport.
Yeah, you walk around knocked out teeth.
Yeah, a rugged man
knock
sport.
people over, big old bearded fellows.
Yeah, it's intense. Hockey's intense. But that is going to open up this. We want to hear our listeners' answers. Like, tweet us your answers. So we'll at the end of the show we'll put out a tweet, and we want you to respond to it. If you were an Olympic athlete, what sport would you participate in? And I think, should we open it up to summer and winter?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you're just an Olympic athlete in general, what sport would you participate in? And if you tweet us, we will read your tweet on the air. We're very interested in knowing what Olympic athlete you would like to be. Ethan, you have any comments on the Winter Olympics as we move forward?
Go USA.
USA. Looking in the basketball world, and over the past couple of days, weeks, we've been given an insight to the basketball world. When Dr. Hooper came and he kind of talked basketball with us, and Tate came and he talked basketball with us
throughout this whole process.
We're learning.
We've been the same. We've been talking the whole time about how the Cavs are having a little bit of a dumpster fire and things have to change.
Yeah,
they created a huge change.
Things did change. General manager / coach / starting player LeBron took it in his own hands, and everyone got traded. They traded Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose.
That's a move I really like, though.
I respect that. I respect that he went back to the Heat, or that they sent him back to the Heat, which was good. He likes being there. That's his home. But the Cavs, they originally, before they had traded everyone, they were just a bunch of old, experienced players that were not necessarily as fast as the teams they were competing against. You know, they were older guys that had been in the league for a while, and people made the argument that it's just, you know, LeBron and his friends on a basketball team going out there every night. And so LeBron traded everybody, and then now it's back to this young, quicker set of players, and they blew out the Celtics yesterday. Blew them out. And people are saying that it's a different look Cavs, and that since everyone's got traded, it's quicker and they're able to keep up and play on more pace, on more. How would you say that?
More on pace, play at a faster pace.
Yeah, they're on par with them, I reckon. But that was huge. That LeBron's, you know, LeBron took a step and said, "I'm going to trade all my friends." So that's big in the NBA world. Looking at the East standings, the Cavs are in 3rd or 4th. I'm not necessarily positive. But the Raptors are up at the top, and then the Celtics. But now people are saying that the Raptors are going to slip, and that the Cavs are going to make their way up. So that's big in the basketball world. Talk about. We'll move to a segment called "I Was Wrong," where we've only done this one other time, and it was on our 2nd episode. But I was wrong. Ethan, would you like to guess what I was wrong about? I made a statement during one of my hot takes, and it came back, and I was wrong. This hot take was a 2-parter. One part was correct, and one half was wrong. Would you like to guess what it was?
I haven't an idea.
I said that Yu Darvish would stay in L.A. And Yu Darvish, over the weekend, signed with the Cubs. So, I was wrong. But I did say that Christian Yelich would go to Milwaukee, and he did. Went to the Brewers. So, I was wrong, but I also was right. So, all right. But yeah, Yu Darvish to the Cubs. That's big because Jake Arrieta is also a free agent.
And what does that make him want to do now? Because he's going to be fighting for the role of an ace with the Cubs. Is that something he wants to take on full force? Is that he want to go somewhere else?
Let's be honest.
The Cubs have a rather star-studded lineup. Would you agree with that statement? They have several stars in that lineup.
It's a crowded lineup. It's good.
You got to think they're making all kinds of money paying all those stars. Mm-hmm. How much is Jake Arrieta after the money, or is he after a ring?
I heard that Jake Arrieta, or the Cubs, threw out a second chance offer at Jake Arrieta, very similar to Yu Darvish's offer. So, do the Cubs have that kind of money to spend?
Do they have Yankees and Dodgers money?
It
appears that the Yankees and Dodgers can afford anybody and everybody all the time.
Speaking of the Yankees in particular, they made some moves over the last last Wednesday, after we had just wrapped up with our show. You tweeted at me that they made a big acquisition, and they acquired Russell Wilson
they
from
did
the
indeed.
Texas Rangers. Russell Wilson is he's
He's a quarterback for the Seahawks.
quarterback for the Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL. If you're not, if a listener out there is not sure on who Russell Wilson is,
He got traded from the Rangers, who he was drafted by a couple
the
years ago.
the Major League Baseball Texas Rangers traded him to the
for future considerations to the New York Yankees.
to the New York Baseball Yankees. So yes, Russell Wilson is a two-sport athlete.
Well, if you remember a couple years ago, there's another kind of stunt like that where the Padres drafted Johnny Manziel.
The Padres did draft Johnny
So
Manziel.
what-
So is
this more like
is he still under the control of the Padres as far as baseball goes?
if he was, I'm sure he'd be playing there now as opposed to doing nothing. So I
But-
don't know, but
but
I
I
don't know
don't-
why
I
he
don't-
wouldn't be with him if he had the opportunity to.
I don't ever remember seeing anything about Johnny Manziel playing baseball.
No, I don't think he ever. I don't know if he.
I don't think he ever. I mean, I get like Tim Tebow played in high school, and
Tom Brady was drafted out of high school.
Tom Brady was drafted by the Montreal Expos, who are now the Washington
I
Nationals.
read one time about scouting report said that he could have been great. He could have been.
Could have been a catcher. I think he was a
He
catcher.
was a catcher, but the scouting report was fantastic on him for baseball.
Catcher turned
QB.
catcher turned QB. Yeah, but back to what I was saying about Russell Wilson and he's like he went to the spring training with the Rangers the first year he got drafted. I think he just kind of went like as a publicity stunt and to try it out. I guess I don't know.
I read his statement on the whole trade ordeal, and he said that baseball is what started his athletic ability, like what started him big into sports. If I'm not mistaken, if I was reading that right, but he said he wants to keep the possibility, like football is his number one priority right now. Obviously, he's making millions to do it, but he said he doesn't want to close his mind out on the possibility of baseball in the future.
Yeah,
and that makes me want to ask the question of when's the next time we'll see a great two-sport athlete?
Ooh,
like we did Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders.
There's all kinds
guys
of
like that. Yeah.
When we haven't had one in a while. Tim Tebow's trying it right now, but how does he make it to MLB? Does he become the next superstar two-sport athlete?
That's
Michael Jordan tried it. He's in the argument for the greatest of all time in his respective sport. He tried it in baseball. He didn't make it very far.
Yeah, and LeBron James has been rumored to go play football maybe, and that's since LeBron James never went to college. He can go back. He can go. He has NCAA eligibility, except in basketball. He can't play NCAA basketball, but he can go back and play NCAA football.
Imagine that running at you.
Jeez.
What is he? 6'8", 250?
What?
That'd make one heck of a tight end.
What position would LeBron play?
I mean, he'd have to be he's too tall to be a receiver. Too tall, most likely too slow to be a receiver. I'd say he'd have to be a tight end.
Like a tight end, maybe, or like. There's a video out there of LeBron playing football, like on a turf practice field somewhere, and he made like a great catch. But why are we talking about LeBron playing football? Why?
Because when you have a 6'8", 250-pound monster, you always want to ask the question.
Well, could he do something else? Could he do? Yeah, but let him shine at basketball. Let him be a general manager. He's already got enough on his plate. He doesn't need to play football. He's a general manager and a coach and all this other stuff. But why? He's got enough. He doesn't need to play football. So let's talk about. Let's go ahead and move into our hot takes. You want to?
Yeah, you sent me you told me a little bit of your hot takes today, and they have nothing to do with touching any sports.
Yeah, my hot takes have nothing to do with sports. It's just stuff that's been eating at me for not a very long time. Some of it's been for a very long time. Some of it since I was in 5th grade. Some of this stuff just bothers me. But more recently, it's gotten to me, and it's hot take number 1. The new Snapchat update's not that bad. Just hold on. Let me say my piece. The new Snapchat update's not that bad. Quit tweeting about it. Quit photoshopping tweets.
Oh, where they DM?
Where you quote DM Snapchat.
Trying to get retweets.
It's not that bad, okay? Stuff changes. This is like have you heard like the old man yelling at cloud? Like he's just angry about stuff for no reason. It's Snapchat, okay? Get over it. It's not that bad. What are your thoughts?
I agree with you in the sense of you don't want people like getting on Twitter complaining about it and photoshopping stuff. The whole photoshopping stuff, I don't agree with it. There's no point in doing that. But the update itself, I mean, it was one of the prime social networking sites, correct? I mean, Everyone uses it all the time. I got on there. I purposely didn't update mine because I saw all the people talking about how bad it was, how they didn't like it. So I purposely didn't update it. I get a Snapchat from my friends. I go to open it up. I don't know what anything is anymore. I try to find a Snapchat from my friends, and I'd assume it'd be the top one, but it's more like it's closer. It's further down the list because I have Snapchat stories on there that I don't know who people are. There's people on my third most that would, before had been my most recent, and now it's a Snapchat story from someone I haven't talked to since 8th grade. It's all switched around, and you got to tap several times to go through the stories. It's hard to find the stories. It's hard to find the people who you want to Snapchat. The who was on your best friends list.
Yeah.
I personally don't go along with the whole streaks idea.
No, that's ridiculous.
People have said that it's almost impossible to find your streaks on there. And
who cares?
It's really difficult. It's a different format. Yeah, I'm sure with time everyone will get used to it.
Yeah,
because that's how it was before when you had when they introduced stories
and got rid of best friends or whatever. That's such a first world problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I personally do not like it, but I agree it is a problem that is pointless.
If we get so worked up, if the worst thing in your life is the new Snapchat update,
you're doing pretty good.
You're all right. You're all right. My second hot take, you made me forget it. I have to go back and look at my notes. But my second hot take is
Instagram dogs.
Yeah. Don't make Instagram pages for your pets.
Yeah,
don't.
Social media is for you and the people you know to keep in touch with you and see how you're doing, not for your dog eating a bone. Posting pictures of it.
Nobody wants to keep up with your dog.
No one cares what brand of dog food your dog is eating at this time.
And I have family members that just got a dog recently.
I think you should give them a shout out.
I'm not going to say names. But I got family members that just recently got a dog. And this morning I woke up to a follow request from a dog. I'm not going to accept a follow request from a dog. That's just, and then I'm not going to follow your dog back either. Because that's, quote, it's just you. I know it's you running the page. I'm not going to follow it back. I'm going to see that dog. I'm going to go over to your house. I'm going to see that dog. I don't want to see, if you want to post pictures of your dog from your personal account, that's great. But don't make a separate account just to post pictures of your dog.
It's like one of the fake accounts KD uses.
Yeah, like Skip Bayless did that too, or Colin Cowherd. One of them. They made fake Facebooks and Twitters to promote themselves. And it's the same if someone had a fish and made an Instagram account for their fish. It's ridiculous. I don't want to follow your pet's Instagrams. Second, do you have a rebuttal towards pet Instagrams?
That's not something I believe in.
I'm not for that. Moving on, second one. This one's been eating at me for a while since I was in 5th grade, actually. International Pizza Day was on Friday, and a lot of people are arguing: should you put ranch or pineapples on your pizza? The answer is no. Don't put ranch or pineapples on your pizza. That's a no-no. Ethan, what are your thoughts? It just eats at me.
The only thing I believe should be on pizza is pepperoni, and if it's reheated pizza, maybe a little bit of buffalo sauce. If you're trying to be a little bit freaky with things.
If you're trying to bring some spice into your life, buffalo sauce is cool, but don't put ranch or pineapples.
It's different because people don't just dip a little bit in ranch. No,
they smother it.
You can't see any more pizza due to all the white sauce on your pizza.
It's like, would you like some pizza with that ranch? Just don't do it. Don't do it. International Pizza Day on Friday. What are your thoughts? We want to hear the audience's thoughts. Ranch on pizza, pineapple on pizza. My thoughts. I say no. I'm not for it. It's right up like, don't. That's like the same. That's like those monsters that put ketchup on macaroni. Do you do that?
I have done it with barbecue sauce, but not ketchup.
Well, I don't know. It works. Well, it eats
when
at me.
When you eat for 4 months straight of just plain macaroni and cheese in your dorm room, you try to switch things up occasionally with a little bit of barbecue.
That's fine. But
not just for fun. You don't do it for fun. You do it for a change.
What person says, man,
I would love some ranch on all of this pizza.
Yeah.
Is that some pizza I see under this ranch? Absolutely not.
Ranch isn't cheap either. It's not cheap.
They use a majority of a bottle. Do people just walk around with a bottle of ranch?
You're pouring out half a bottle. You're pouring out half a bottle of Hidden Valley on your Domino's and
Hidden Valley TM.
Yeah, it bothers me. International Pizza Day, Friday. What was last Friday? Tweet us your favorite pizza topping. we tweet us. We're bored. But anyway, that's all I've got for my hot takes. Is the new Snapchat update isn't that bad. Quit whining. I don't want to follow your dog on Instagram, and don't put ranch or pineapples on your pizza. Ethan, you have the floor.
Well, I don't have any of your off-topic hot takes, but I do have 3 sports-related hot takes that kind of belong with what I've said in the past, or the first one does anyways. But I think UCF talk too much, ends up with several losses this season.
You just love UCF, don't you?
Absolutely love UCF, man.
You're a closet UCF fan. I think that's what it is.
You can believe what you want, but I hope someone goes out there and just destroys them for everything they're worth next season without their head coach. They have a chip on their shoulder. They have something. I don't know what they have something to prove, but do they really? Teams out there coming into them have something to prove. A team that's going to go out there and claim they're the national champions at the end of the season, claim they're the best there is. They're going to go out there and get destroyed by a team who wants to destroy them.
Well, yeah, and you look at UCF.
They just lost their coach, who obviously is the one who got them to that point.
Yeah. Scott Frost had a lot to do with UCF's success, and now
they did not have a great recruiting season.
No,
I believe they're going to end up with several losses, and it's going to have a lot to do with how much they talked in the offseason, or the end of the season, anyways.
Yeah. It's going to be a unique year to watch UCF and how they respond to what's been going on in this offseason. But I think that they're in a lot of trouble in regards to football because you just lost Scott Frost, who got you there. So it'll be interesting to see. What you got next?
My next one is the NFL needs less commercial breaks. So when shorter, they played on ESPN this season against West Georgia.
ESPN 3.
And I talked to a couple players afterwards, asked them what it was like, and they all said that it was pretty much the same, other than the fact that they had so many breaks.
Yeah.
It kind of takes a pause from the game. It's like an extra timeout all the time. You need to go in there and just have a break, get a drink of water, and that kind of slows down the game. There's so many breaks in the game. You can't watch 2 drives in a row without there being a commercial break in between.
Yeah. You
cannot watch 2 drives, and that kind of takes away from the game, because when it was originally played before TVs, there wasn't any breaks for media time. There was 3 timeouts and 3 quarter changes. There's 3 quarter changes, and why does there need to be 8 commercial breaks now?
Well, in a world of commercialism and a world that revolves around the dollar, you gotta make that money somehow, because buying TV time or getting TV time is not cheap.
No.
And the way you make your money back is through commercials, and I guess you gotta throw commercials in there sometimes. And I agree that watching a game on TV takes forever.
I mean, the average Super Bowl time is 3 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah, when we watched,
because it's a game known for the commercials.
Yeah, when we watched the Super Bowl,
it shouldn't take almost 4 hours for a football game to be played, no matter what stage it's on. That's 4 hours. That's an hour a quarter. Yeah. For a 15-minute quarter, that's 45 minutes worth of commercial breaks.
Yeah, it started at 6. Kickoff was, well, it said it started at 6, and then there was like 30 minutes for the pregame ceremony, the national anthem, and the coin flip, and then the game actually got started, and then it took 4 hours and was over like 10:30 or 11, and that's too long. I mean, for the Super Bowl, maybe that's fine, because that's what you're there. You're there to watch, but
they're to hang out with your friends and have a good time for a long time.
Yeah, but just a week, like a weekly game, like a week 12 game that doesn't really have a lot riding on it, but it's just maybe the NFL should look at their pace of play rather than the MLB.
A pace of play in the MLB. They have a pitch count, or have a pitch clock rather. And, that's just – I don't think there should be a pace of play anything. There should be less commercials. Yeah, commercials is what making the game last so long.
The NFL's got play. Yeah, the NFL's got a lot to work out as far as catch. What's a catch? What's not a catch? Anyway.
And to my last hot take of the day is another kind of complaint rather than anything. I believe college basketball should be 4 10-minute quarters as opposed to 2 20-minute halves. Because, listen, you go from high school, you're playing quarters. Go to college, all of a sudden it's 2 halves. Then you go back, you go to the NBA if you get that lucky, and what is it again? 4 halves. So why is it not, or 4 quarters rather? Why is it not 2 halves? Or why is it 2 halves in college if that's the only time it's like that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, sure. It's very fast speed of play because you have that amount of time. But why not just have 4 10-minute quarters like everything else? You're playing the same amount of time.
Yeah, true. But I think that goes back to what you said about the NFL and their commercial breaks. With all those commercial breaks thrown in there, it's a good media timeout is just as good as a quarter change, I think.
Yeah, but like like it's the same thing. I understand like the whole this has nothing to do with time. This has to do with why is it different than everything else?
Yeah, and like a complaint. Like
because it's gonna be the same. It's 4 10-minute quarters, 40 minutes, 2 20-minute halves, 40 minutes. It's the same amount of time. Why is it different? That's what I'm trying to get at.
I think it's just the NCAA, man.
There's it's a conversation for a different time. Just the NCAA being the NCAA.
NCAA, and it's just it's unique. That's a good question though. Why is it different? We'll have to ask Tate. I'm sure Tate knows, or I'm sure Dr. Hooper could probably tell you.
Dr. Hooper would probably have a good answer for that.
But then again, with something like that, well, I don't know. But anyway, if you have a hot take, if you a listener have a hot take, tweet it at us.
Give us something to talk about. Give us a reason to mention you on air.
Yeah, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel right now when it comes to hot takes.
We've had to make how many hot takes? How many shows have we had?
We've
now?
had
about 7, 8,
7,
9, something like that.
And we didn't
have to have 3 hot takes per episode, other than the 2 with the
Dr. Hooper and Coach Morrison. We didn't have hot takes then. But as far as it goes, we're really stretching. And I had to talk about ranch on pizza today. I'm really running out of ideas. But
I had to speak of UCF for the 3rd time already. Toss us some ideas.
Yeah, tweet at us with hashtag hot TEA take, hot T take. We will read your tweet on the air. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Going back to earlier in the show, tweet at us what your sport would be if you were an Olympic athlete. That's open for summer and winter. The tweet will go out immediately following the show. Tweet at us. We will read your tweet on air. That's all we have for today. Ethan, do you have any final comments?
USA.
Yeah, watch the Winter Olympics. Go Team USA.
Check it out. Give us something to talk about next week.
Yep. I'm Justin Franklin.
I'm Ethan Payne.
Thanks for listening.